Welcome to Voiced. Today's post is from subreddit Petty Revenge by Riffgrinder, and it is about a breakup that takes an unexpected turn towards revenge when a man's ex-girlfriend moves on with his friend. So this happened over a decade ago. I was in my mid-20s, and at the time it happened, no one really asked for all the details. I just gave everyone the short story, so I have not told this story to that many people. Thought I would share it here, as I think it's a pretty good revenge story in the end. Me and my ex-GF were together for almost 5 years. We lived together for about 3. She was like the perfect daughter, except she was pretty lazy and could not hold a job. The last year of our relationship was obviously pretty bad, very rocky, and to be honest, just boring. But we decided we would stick together. I even bought an apartment for us. Since I was the only one with an income, I was also the only one who paid for it. This is how it ended. Friday, I come home from work, greet my ex-GF, chat about the day, have a shower. After the shower, I get dressed and go grab a cold beer from the fridge. I sit down by my PC, and it does not even have time to boot up, and I hear, "Babe, are you happy?" I'm not happy. I ask, "Happy?" "Yeah, I feel pretty good." Blah blah, what do you mean? I knew what she meant. She tells me she has thought about it and already made up her mind, and she wants out of the relationship. At this point, I have no more fight left in me. She has made up her mind. This is obviously happening. So we have a talk about it. For about 2 hours, the talk went really well. She pretty much agreed on everything I said, I was right about everything, and so on. Being broken up with sucks, but this time, it was the easiest. So I thought we were on the exact same page about how we are going to deal with the breakup and move forward. I even told her I would not kick her out of the apartment. I would let her live in the apartment, rent-free since she was unemployed, until she finds a new place. And I told her I don't want her to take whatever place she gets offered. I want her to move to a place or area she feels safe in and actually will enjoy living in. Like I mentioned, she agreed, said that everything I said seemed very reasonable. The breakup talk went really smooth. She tells me she will be staying at my mother's place over the weekend, so we get some space. My mother was out of town at the time. Once my ex-GF left, I called up my friend and told him what just happened. He told me to come to his place first thing in the morning. We could go grab some breakfast, do something fun, take my mind off things. Saturday, I went over around noon to my friend's place. We had some deep talks. He joked about a bunch of silly stuff my ex-GF had said or done over the years and was trying to keep my mind off of the breakup. To sum up the day, this, of course, for some reason, ended with us getting wasted and throwing a big party at my friend's place. I had a good time, actually. Was about to text my ex-GF in the middle of the night something like, "I'm really glad we are at least dealing with this breakup like adults, being upfront and all. You are still my best friend." But I actually erased it before I sent it and did not send her a single text. I come home from the party sometime early Sunday morning, like 6 to 7 in the morning. I notice there seems to be things missing from the apartment, books, and curtains. But my still drunk mind does not really process this, so I just go to bed. Sunday, I wake up in the afternoon and can now clearly see things are missing. I start going through stuff, and at some point I panic, and like the hipster I am, I look at my vinyl collection. I flip through the records, and as I suspected, one record was gone. It was a signed copy of a record I bought from the artist himself after a concert. It was even signed, "Best of luck and take it easy, Riffgrinder," so it has my name on it. I try to call her. She will not answer the phone. I call my mother, in case she would have been in touch with her. I call her sister to ask if she had heard anything from her, but no, other than the fact we broke up. About an hour later, I get a call from my mother. She managed to get in touch with my ex-GF, and it turns out she never even stayed at my mother's place. She had been spending the whole weekend at, let us call him Mike's place. Now, at the time, Mike was a friend of mine. A pretty good friend, too. I thought, the revenge part. I text my ex-GF that I am happy to see you found a new place to live so quick, since you obviously don't need me anymore. I thought I will pack up the remaining stuff you forgot to pick up during the night while I was away. If you are not here in 2 hours, I will just leave it outside on the sidewalk for you. Almost those exact words, but in Swedish, since I am Swedish, of course. She called me up a minute later. She was in panic, said she can't make it in 2 hours as she needs to find a van or something that can fit all her stuff. She even asked me if I knew somebody who had a van we could borrow. I told her to get a rental, and in 2 hours the stuff will be nicely packed up and waiting for her outside and hung up. I then proceed to actually pack up her stuff. And she had a lot of stuff. At some point, I find her old MacBook in her closet. Of all places, she had not used this computer in 2 years, but I could see the little LED light glowing, indicating it was charged. I open the laptop, and to my surprise, a Facebook page opens. She was logged into a fake account she had made with one conversation in her chat history. Mike. Dating back several months, I could not read it at the time. I was torn up and angry. I just scrolled to the first message to see it was like 4 to 5 months earlier that they had began chatting through her fake profile. It was very clear from the messages I did read they had initiated a secret relationship and pretty much planned the breakup together. I managed to retrieve her login details, and I call up her sister and give her the details and ask her if she wants to know why we broke up. She can just read the chat logs. I also asked her sister not to confront my ex-GF about the chat logs until I had a chance to speak to her about it first, and she informs me she can't read the chat by herself as she feels so embarrassed about her own sister, so she drove to her parents' place to read it together with their mother. Even better, I also stopped packing up my ex-GF's stuff after I found the chat. When my ex-GF arrives at my place, she was expecting her stuff nicely packed up for her, but instead, the first thing she sees is the laptop on the ground in the hallway with the conversation open. Her face goes pale. I then tell her that as we speak, her sister and mother is currently reading through the chat logs, and I then tell her to pack up her own stuff by herself. She did. It took like 5 hours or so, and I just sat on the couch observing her. When I closed the door behind her after she had grabbed that last box, I blocked her everywhere and have never seen her since. Edit. I forgot to mention that I did get the record back when she came by to pick up the stuff, so you can all rest easy. No records were harmed. I still have it. Wow, what a wild ride that was. It's incredible how relationships can turn so quickly and how revenge can serve as a form of closure. This story really highlights the complexities of human connections. Just when you think you're on the same page, a whole hidden chapter can unfold. Honestly, it's both heartbreaking and oddly satisfying to see how the tables turned. I can't believe your ex thought she could just move on without any consequences. What do you all think about the way he handled the situation? Do you think he went too far, or was it just poetic justice? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for listening to today's episode of Voiced. If you enjoyed daily, high-quality stories, please like and subscribe to show your support.